Okay.
28.
Okay, everybody,
Proverbs 28.
verse 6. And then we'll meditate on each proverb concerning the word better. Okay, go ahead, 28:6.
Okay, Pastor Bert. Better the poor whose walk is blameless than the rich whose ways are perverse.
Okay, so rich and poor. Everybody in the world wants to be rich. They think it's better to be rich than to be poor, right? That's the way the world thinks. But what does the Bible say? It's better to be poor in this way. Poor whose walk is blameless.
In what way, Pastor Bert?
Yeah, in your walk is blameless is my translation. Feel free to share yours. I keep blocking out my my word search on my phone, and it keeps blocking me out. So when your walk is blameless, what does that mean? That means every single time you're involved in any kind of money making business, pursuit, money making, the way you make it is honest. You make an honest and a good service, right? It's an honest living.
Okay.
And you might not get a lot of money, but it's an honest living. Okay? So your walk is blameless. And you're not super wealthy, and you could even be considered poor, but at least you're making a decent living, and you are not doing anything to harm other people in order to make money.
Right. Stealing or...
Yeah, he's scamming people, stealing from people, selling drugs illegally.
Right.
On and on it goes.
Yeah. Appreciate it for what you have.
So it's better to be poor.
And
then it says, then the rich whose ways are perverse. There are some people who get rich by scamming you, by doing, twisted things. Like we looked up the definition of perverse. They're twisting things around. They tell you one thing, they promise you one thing, they deliver something different, and they got the sale. So what is better, to be poor or to be rich?
To be poor.
As long as what?
As long as you're not crooked.
Yeah, you're not crooked. As long as your walk is blameless.
As you are not dishonest.
Yeah. See? So there you go. Next one is 27:10. And go ahead and read 27:10.
Okay, Pastor.
Now, if I go too fast and you say you want to chew on it or meditate on it some more, feel free to stop me, right? Feel free to say, hold on, Pastor Bert, can you, touch on it a little more or whatever. So 27:10, go ahead.
Do not forsake your friend or a friend of your family, and do not go to your relative's house when disaster strikes you. Better a neighbor nearby than a relative far away.
There you go. So here you are dealing with relatives.
Never abandon a friend.
A relative or a neighbor.
Yours, abused father.
Okay, so a relative or a neighbor is what we're looking at. Now, obviously, if you have healthy relations, hold on, there's background noise. I got to fix that. You guys got it? If you have a family, but they're living far away. I mean, I have a daughter who lives in Maui. I have a son that lives in between Vegas and LA. I have children who live in Irvine, California. So they're far away, they're family. And obviously the spirit is to always help family. But it says it's better to look to your neighbors when disaster hits. That's what you're picking up when disaster hits, Kathy. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when the power goes out in my neighborhood, it
Mm.
always goes out across the street. So they can't run to somebody else's house, so they run to their neighbor. So I get all their phones and I plug them in and charge them. Right.
That's a
So,
very practical example right there.
right. And I told them that there was a scripture that said it's better to run to your neighbor's house than your brother.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
you don't want to have to drive far or think like it's hopeless because family is,
Yeah.
you know, uh, too far away that, you can't really get real help because they're living so
Yeah.
far away. So instead, uh, be neighborly and feel free to, check in with neighbors when you are confronted with some type of crisis or disaster.
Yes, Pastor
Right.
Bert, that's the same. I mean, we was brought up like that. Your neighbors are the first one to help you because they're right
Mhm.
there, you know?
Sure. And so that's practical wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And, we know family's better, but
Not all the time.
not all the time. Sometimes it's good to know that neighbors are better.
Mm-hmm.
Neighbors are good to turn to. And there we go. I was living in El Paso, Texas for a year, and I got to learn the Texas culture.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have any problems going across the street and
Uh-uh.
talking to you.
They have great
Mhm.
Southern South hospitality.
Yeah,
They
they're
call
they're they're neighborly. And when I was
Yeah,
in San Francisco growing
yeah.
up, you better watch out for
It's
that.
different. Yeah.
That's a different vibe.
Yeah.
So just goes to show you the cultures. Let's go to 27.5.
Before we do that, Pastor Bert, it says better is a neighbor who is near than a brother far away. It also reminds me when the Bible says, love your neighbor as you love thyself. When you do that, you know you can trust your neighbor because y'all have that, that relationship.
Yeah, if there are practicing believers, especially who practice that golden rule, love your
Mm-hmm.
neighbor as you love yourself, do
Mm-hmm.
others as you would have others do to you. If they're practicing that, what a great thing. You
Yeah.
can't expect everybody to practice the word of God, but you know, it's good to know that,
Yeah, that people still do it.
yeah, they might not know the whole Bible, but they practice love.
Yeah.
I remember during the earthquake in 1989, and people in San Francisco wanted to help each other out.
Mm-hmm.
Neighbors wanted to help neighbors during this time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So, so there we go with what's that verse 27:10. Now let's
Mm-hmm.
go to 27:5.
Better is open rebuke than hidden love.
As much as that is so true, not everybody can handle rebuke.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody can handle it. What's an example of um, open rebuke? Man,
Corrective criticism.
yeah, what you did was, if I were to say to you, what you did was wrong, it was stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, that's like a strong rebuke. That's a strong correction.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it says it's better to receive that open rebuke. That's why you got to be teachable. Sometimes in this culture, modern day, you talk like that to family or friends, they'll cancel you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be your friend anymore. And there's a dynamic there that you got to take into consideration. But open rebuke is me being and you being so trusting of me that when I correct you harshly, right? That's a rebuke. Strongly, critical. At least I'm doing that openly
Because you care.
because I love you. Yeah, because I love
Right.
you, I care. as compared to hidden love.
Mm-hmm.
What's hidden love? Oh, well, I know that brother so and so is doing something wrong, but I love him. I still love him. That's not good.
Mm-mm.
I mean, yeah, you love him like a brother, but you're letting him continue to go on the wrong path.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, so, but I'm doing it to maintain that peace, right? I'm doing that so he won't get upset with me. Well,
Mm.
but you're continuing to let him go down the wrong path.
Yeah.
So you've got to make that. You've got to choose which is better. Maybe an example or an illustration that we can use is something like if my brother, we were celebrating a wedding together, and then I realized he's drinking too much, and now he wants to drive,
Mm-hmm.
right? Am I gonna just say I still love him, but he wants to drive so bad, I'll just let him do it? Are you gonna do that? Hidden love? Or are you gonna say, there's no way you're gonna drive. Give me those keys. You are not gonna drive, you know, we'll have somebody drive you home instead, etc. Okay. That's a rebuke, taking the keys away from me. How dare you take my keys away from me? Man, I want to go home and drive myself home. No, you can't. I won't let you.
Right.
See, that's open rebuke. You're too drunk to drive.
Mm-hmm.
See, so that's an example. That's an illustration. Better is open rebuke than hidden love. Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts about that? Okay, here we go. Proverbs 25:24.
Okay.
We're,
Better to
for
live.
those who just joined us, Jean is here. Welcome, Jean.
Yeah.
We're doing a word search on the word better. Okay, go ahead.
25:24. Better to live on a corner of the roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife.
Okay, now this is where the women will be offended. Sorry to offend you, women, but if you want to say, okay, that's their culture back then that's fine. It can go both for men and women can be quarrelsome. You know that. That's the truth. Men and women can both be quarrelsome. One can, like um, I could be in a quarrelsome mood one day, right? And I'm a man. And then the next day, my wife could be a quarrelsome wife. So they could go hand in hand. We know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can go back and forth.
Yes.
But because the verse here is quarrelsome wife, well, then we got to take into consideration a culture that talks in patriarchal, which means the man is the head of the household, and therefore the teachings are with that mindset. So better to live on a corner of the roof. Now, if you've been to Israel, the buildings, some of the buildings at least, if not all, have a flat roof. And that roof can also be used as a place like a sanctuary, like a garden. Okay, it's a desert heat, and if you want cool breeze, you can go to your roof and at least find some kind of peace and quiet there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, living on a corner of a roof, you would probably translate it here in the United States. You got a man cave, or you have a beautiful corner garden. And it's saying it's better to go there and stay there, even live there, than to share a beautiful house You know, there are beautiful houses that you can live in, mansions even. But if you're living in that beautiful house and yet you're living with someone who's constantly quarreling with you.
Mine says contentious woman, a contentious woman.
Yeah, someone who wants to always fight.
Oh.
You know, always want to be confronting. And if you understand relationships, when you guys get into an argument, we're talking about spouses, you guys need to learn to de-escalate. That's the term, de-escalate.
Escalate.
Do you understand what that means when you're de-escalating an argument?
Yes, Pastor Bert. I ain't never heard that word. I ain't never heard nobody use that word.
But you know what it means.
Yes.
So if you and I are arguing, what's going on? You're arguing with me. I'm arguing with you. You are emotional with your words. I'm emotional. We are no longer rational in our speaking. And we get worse and worse and worse. What happens when you keep escalating this emotional argument? What happens if you keep letting it keep going and going? What happens?
You start hurting each other with words.
Yeah, there's abuse with the words. And then what goes on after that?
Then you start boxing.
You can fight, right?
Physical abuse.
You get hurt, right?
Because from emotional to verbal abuse to now physical abuse, and you got World War III going on inside that beautiful mansion that you have, because you don't know how to de-escalate. You don't know this proverb that says it's better to live on the corner of the roof. Well, your wife is not going to follow you to the corner of the roof. I hope not anyway. You separate. That's my understanding. I'm going to go to the corner of the roof. You stay in the big, beautiful mansion, and it gives us a chance to de-escalate and cool down, cool off. Okay, it's like boxing, right? You go to your round, you go to your corner, and you go to your corner, and you hopefully are able to calm down, still love one another, even though you're separated because you're really wanting to de-escalate. You're really wanting to say this is better than to keep quarreling and arguing. The word says we can work it out. We can work it out. The song, right? We can work it out. So yes, you can work it out, but you need to do it under rational and no quarreling environment, a no quarrel zone, no emotional abuse. So now you know what's better. Okay? Anybody else have any thoughts about that verse? Better to live on the corner of a roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife or a quarrelsome husband. Obviously, it goes both. All right? No.
All right.
Let's move on. 25:7.
25:7. It is better for him to say, is it okay? Is it better for him to say to you, come up here, than for him to humiliate you better before his nobles? What you have seen with your eyes. That's it, Pastor Bert.
Yeah, it's actually because of my word app. It says 27, 24. What is it? 25:7? Because it's just focusing on the word, but it's actually 6 and 7 together. So read verse 6 and 7 together.
Okay. Do not exalt yourself in the king's presence, and do not claim a place among his great men. It is better for him to say to you, "Come up here," than for him to humiliate you before his nobles, what you have seen with your eyes.
Okay, so just that part of being humiliated in the king's presence. What does the king represent? It represents somebody who's powerful and who has authority. That can be in any job situation. It can be in a social situation. It can be in a formal situation where there's a person there who is powerful and who has authority. And when you go into a room, you know who's the one who's the boss and who's the one who has authority. So with that in mind, what should your attitude be? Should you be the one to exalt yourself and talk to that person about all the things you have done and all the things that you have?
No, you humble yourself.
Yeah, you shouldn't be bragging.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is, I mean, if they ask, then that's fair, right? They're asking. You're supposed to be honest. But if you just blurt out, "Oh, this is what I've done, and I've done this," and they're not even asking you, don't exalt yourself, it says, in the king's presence. Do not claim a place among the great. Don't make yourself look good as if you're showing your status. Don't do that. Don't try to be a status seeker with the king or the one who has power and authority. Okay, so because you don't know any better, when it's time for everybody to sit down, whether it's at a conference, even at a concert or dining area, if you don't know any better, you're going to find the best seat for yourself. Human nature. I'm going to find the best seat for me. And it's all about where's the best place for me to sit down. Okay, that's human nature. But that's not good. So he's saying, go to, and this is just processing this verse, go to a place where, sit in the back. Sit in a place where you know it's not going to bother anybody by you being there, sitting there. You're, in a sense, missing out, and you're okay with missing out. That's not important to you. Because he says it's better for the leader to come to you and say, "Hey, don't be here. Why don't you come up here? I want you to sit here in a place of honor," as opposed to somebody humiliating you because you're sitting up front and it's like, that belongs to someone else. You need to move back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of, choosing the better way to go.
Mm-hmm.
And the better way to go is humble yourself, but physically humble yourself as well. Don't be looking for the best seats, and be okay with that. And by having that attitude in whatever social setting you find yourself, even in church, these things can happen in church.
Yeah.
And whether there's a church meeting, a church gathering, a church potluck, or whatever, if you are always looking, you're number one, and I got to take care of myself first, it shows, and it's not good. It's not a good look in church. You want to look good in church, take the back seat. You willingly take the back seat and be like the teaching says, serve everybody, be a servant of all. Remember that verse? If you want to be great in God's kingdom, what do you got to be?
It should be the last, Pastor.
A servant of all.
Servant of all and the last.
Yeah. So just take that role as a servant, and then if it's God's timing, God's will, somebody will say, hey, don't sit back there. I want you to sit up here closer to the front, or next to me to the front. Well, if the leader says that to you, then it makes you look good. That's why it's better for them to ask you to come to the front instead of them asking you to please leave that chair for someone else, because somebody more important is going to be sitting there. So please move to the back. Okay. Just one of those life lessons. Okay. And baby Catherine did some search. Go ahead, baby Catherine. She read Matthew chapter 20, verse 26. Go ahead and read that story. It'll reinforce this verse. Go ahead. Baby Catherine, you still there?
Sorry, I was looking. 2026.
Yeah, Matthew 20, 26. Here we go.
Okay. Not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant.
Oh, okay. So that verse concerning, if you want to be great in God's kingdom, you got to be a servant of all. I learned that through a song, by the way. Not necessarily by, reading the text and then memorizing it like I usually do. I learned that from a song. So we learn it, it resonates, it stays, and it stays with us forever, hopefully. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's go on to the next one. If anybody else wants to chew on that, let me know, but it's time for the next verse. Here we go. It's in Proverbs chapter 22, verse 1. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 1.
A good name more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold.
What are your choices? Silver or gold and great riches. Who wants that? I do. Everybody wants that. But what's better than that? What is better than great riches, gold and silver? What's better than that?
A good name.
Good name.
That. No, there is something better than that. What is it?
A good name.
Favor, Pastor.
What does a good name mean?
Humble.
What does it mean to have a good name?
You have to have faith in Jesus.
No, you got to be more. You got
I think.
You got to be more street smart about this. What does it mean to have a good name?
It means, like, when I was growing up, well, maybe this isn't good. I don't know. Well, when I was growing up, we were called the Bonilla sisters. Bonilla or Bonilla, but I lived in Potrero Hill, so it was Bonilla.
Okay,
so
Bonilla.
It's a good reputation, Pastor.
Yeah.
Let Catherine finish.
Good reputation.
It's a good name.
Yeah, reputation
goes before you. So by having that name, I actually was protected.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. I don't know if it's good, but
well,
my
your
sister had to
name
earn it.
being respected in such a way that people protect you because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one.
Yeah.
So another way of saying you have a good name or having a good name is reputation, right, Ophelia?
Yes.
You know that?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so having a good reputation.
Right.
When you have a good reputation, you have a good name.
Oh, yes.
Okay. That's really the bottom line of life. And a good name means you're a person who keeps your word. You're a man of your word. A good name doesn't necessarily mean you're perfect. But you always do what's good and what's right. That's a good name, because you're known as a person who does good, who does what is right. So you have a good reputation. You have people wanting to do good or give you favor because of your reputation or because of you have a good name.
You are respected.
Your name is respected. Sure.
Yes.
And esteemed, right? That says, my translation says, to be esteemed is better than silver or gold.
Yeah.
To be esteemed is being respected, being honored. People
Honored.
honor you. Which is
Yeah.
better? Gold and riches and silver and gold or riches, or having that good name?
Good name. Good name.
Good name.
Having the good name.
And
That good name will carry you through life.
Yeah, it will carry you through the rest of your life and even the next generation when you think
Yeah.
about it. Because when your children are known by the people who respected you, they'll give you favor because of your father.
Yeah.
Your father's reputation. So it can last for generations, I believe. Better to have a good name, which then says, I got to work on making sure I'll always do the best I can, do what's right in the eyes of people, in the eyes of everybody. And even if it means sacrificing money, I'll choose having a better name or a good reputation.
Yeah.
Because that's better for us. That's better for you in the long run. Unfortunately, there's evil around the world and people want to hurt your reputation, you know. Again, so you want to avoid that. You want to avoid the hurt that comes with people wanting to make you look bad. But it happens. But the truth is, you are a person who's consistently doing what is right in the eyes of everybody, which gives you a good reputation. And I think it starts with a person who keeps their word. That's an old-fashioned value. Your word is your bond, or your word is your agreement. If I say I'll agree to do it, I'll do it. Even if it hurts me, I got to keep my word.
Right.
And that's why this is guiding you. Choose this instead of just going after the money all the time. Make yourself look bad. Make yourself look greedy, because all you care about is the riches. There you go. Anybody else have any thoughts before we move on? I think we have one more and then we got to wrap it up. Brother Daniel, go ahead.
Yeah, I think having a good name is like God is glorified with it, Pastor.
Yeah. Now, if you incorporate God into the mix, obviously, what you do to glorify God, when you do good works, it glorifies our Father in heaven. When you do what's right and it's always going to be having to do with love. That's why let your motives be out of love every time you do good works, to glorify your Father in heaven.
So having a good name doesn't actually glorify God, Pastor Bird?
What's that? Having a good name does not glorify God?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's just a different angle, the way we're looking at it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just from one angle, marketplace angle, having a good name in the marketplace. What's the favorite brand cars that have a good reputation?
Honda,
Toyota, right?
Toyota.
And some, I don't know about some European cars, but I hear complaints.
Lamborghini.
Yeah. So those cars, they have a good name. If you mention that name, it's like, wow. But if you mention cars that don't have a good name, people avoid it because they don't like the name. What was that, Susie?
I was saying right now we are building ourselves a good name.
All the time for the rest of your life. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yes.
And that becomes really critical, because if you just make one bad move,
Oh, yeah.
it could be ruined. unfortunately, but that happens. But it's always going to be better to choose by going with a good name, establishing a good reputation for yourself, instead of just choosing money. And I know everybody says, man, I need that. I really need the cash. I really need this. But you got to have restraint now. Have restraint in trying to attain money if it's going to hurt your reputation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see one more before we can wrap it up. Oh, interesting. Proverbs 19:22.
1922. What a person desires is unfailing love. Better to be poor than a liar.
Isn't that a very interesting take? It's better to be poor than a liar. Being poor in this context is maybe poor with friends. I only have 3 or 4 really good friends, while another person, he has 50 friends, 100 friends. How did he have so many friends? Because he's a liar. He likes to flatter people, lie to them, say things to them that sounds good, even though it's not the truth. While a person who is poor in friendships, let's just say that, all his friends, the 3 or 4 or 5 friends that he has, they know his faults, they know his mistakes, they know the truth, and they still love him. And so their love towards him is unfailing love. That's the kind of friends that you can have, or you should have. Because you want a friend that loves you just the way you are.
Yeah.
You don't want friends or people to love you and they don't even know the truth about you. In fact, that'd be a terrible thing if I had a relationship with a woman and she was a constant liar. She kept lying to me just to make me love her. That's not good. So it's better to just have a few friends or a few people, in a sense, be poor, and yet you have unfailing love, than to be rich with friends, rich with even possessions, but nobody really loves you.
Right.
Because you're a liar, always making yourself look good. Right? That's usually the case with liars.
Yeah, they love the stuff you have.
They love the status. They like the attention. They really don't know the truth about you. They don't really care about the truth about you. They don't really love you. You want to have friends that love you just the way you are. And I think in the church, when you have real good, close Christian brothers and sisters that you can talk to about your, personal struggles, and they're there to love you and support you. I will always appreciate that.
Amen.
So it's better to have a few of those than to have a lot of friends and a lot of people in your life.
That's right.
They don't know the truth about you at all. They just think you're on the outside, but they don't know the truth. And that's pretty much as far as we can go for tonight on a Friday Night Live.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any thoughts or anything as we've meditated on the word better? There's more verses in Proverbs, but there's also more verses, not too many, in Psalms, which tells us we can do this again.
Sure.
Yeah. And so I think you guys are able to look at the different angles. When you're looking at Proverbs, the angles that you look at are focused on the marketplace in the general population of the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Christianized in this context because it's just general wisdom. When you add to it the spiritual dimension, which is obviously as a Christian, then it takes on more. It has more of wisdom that you can process, because now you incorporate, glorifying God. You can incorporate living for Jesus in these contexts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we stay with the context, add to it once we've figured it out in the original context, then you can always add the spiritual and the Christian dimension.
Okay.
Okay? Praise God for all
Yeah.
of you. So let me say good night to Earl, Ian, and Tian, and Emmanuel, Daphne, Susie, Diane, Jean, Robert, Daniel, Anna, baby Catherine, Andrea, Kathy, and Ophelia.
Thank you, Pastor Bert.
Who would like to close us in prayer?
I'll close, Pastor Bert.
Okay, let me turn off the recording and you can